I think, ma'am, the first and the most important thing is that there's a saying in English that the Caesar's wife has to be above suspicion. And that is where everything begins. So if you have judges of the country who have unfortunately come into such a limelight because of these reasons, it is the onus is on the judiciary and the judicial system to come up and rise to the occasion and treat them like any other person. The question I want to ask here, if it was you or me in that place, would we get the same treatment? No, we'll have totally got a differential treatment. If this differential treatment is given and you're still treating the kid with kid gloves, I'm telling you one thing. The judiciary of this country is putting the collegium system at risk, because after this fiasco, the country knows the sentiments of the country are not with the judiciary, and it is seen that there is some kid gloves approach which is being taken, and you're trying to theek hai, dekhte hain, karte hain, and all that kind of thing. You are trying to have a differential treatment of your own people than the common man on the road. That kind of a system politically will give enough opportunities for this system to go and or a different new system to come in. Now, it is the onus is on the respectable judges and the people who are running the collegium today to see what is the cost of doing this. I'll be very direct. What is the cost of doing it? And Justice Dhingra was right in all the submissions which he said right now. There are some very pertinent points he makes. Now, if the things is that what we are seeing is like fortunately or unfortunately, every judge is a vakil. Before that, he's a lawyer, then a lawyer becomes a judge. So every judge will know how to defend himself. Every judge will know how to put all those alibis and how to put all those dafas and clauses and sub clauses there. But what the nation has seen, what has come into a blatant picture, is a act of omission and submission. There is an alleged crime which has possibly happened. There is notes and currency which has happened. Now, on the drop of a hat, if you want a politician to resign, if you want a prime minister to resign, if you want a minister to resign, if you want a janitor to resign, if you want a chaprasi to resign, at any time or you want some person to go, suspend, resign, FIR, why such things are not happening here? Why we are trying to say, nee, it's not something like that, things have happened. There have been people in politics who have been seen with one wrong picture, a bundle of cash, and their political careers are gone. And there have been government officers who face the same acts. I'm not saying even the politicians, government officers have faced the same acts. If there's a police commissioner, for example, Rao Saab is a police commissioner, I'm not mentioning you, sir. If there's a police commissioner and such an incident happened in his place, what do you think will happen to him next day? So why this differential treatment is given? Because the country is watching it. This differential treatment is not good. Some stern, robust action needs to be taken. And as the things have come to the light now, the things are out in the open, I think the judiciary should come forward and propose some groundbreaking reforms to make sure such things don't ever happen in the future. Because if you are letting them pass and you are letting them, move on, things won't move on like this. And if how many instances we have seen, ma'am, where a police arrests their own people, where the police walas are arresting their own colleagues, because if there's an omission or something has happened, they will not hesitate to arrest them and put them in the the lockup. So when such things are happening, why judiciary is not acting in that way? That's a big question which the nation wants to know. And in my opinion, we must see some tangible action, not only against this person. It's not about the person, it's about the rot which has set into the system. What are the ways of cleaning this rot, and how do we make sure this rot never comes up? Because judiciary is about the belief of people in the system. And if this belief and if this trust is shaken, then you can't have judiciary the status which it enjoys in India, which is good and great. It should be like that. But if the trust is broken, there's nothing to salvage, ma'am. After a given point of time, when people give up, it's all gone. This trust is gone. Everything is gone. As I said, it's a testing time for the judiciary of India. And I think all the people who are for the right kind of judiciary and for the upfront and honest judiciary should get up and put enough pressure on the people in the echelons of power and within the system to make sure they do the right thing, and they do it now. If you do it after 1 month or 6 months, it won't have that impact. But it is to be done right now, because the nation is looking at it, and there are a lot of people who don't understand a lot of things. वो बोलेंगे भाई जज साहब है तो उनका तो कुछ किया नहीं, बाकी हमको जेल में डाल दिया. But these are the things, these are the notions which will settle in the common janta's hearts and minds, and it will be very, very difficult to clean them up. You can't clean hearts and minds of 1.4 billion people. It's a very upfront challenge, and you have to know there's a time which is ticking, and you must act now. That's my limited submission on this.
I'll also like to get Ellen Rao in this conversation as well. Ellen Rao, we've seen that the response of Justice Yashwant Verma to a lot of questions that were posed by CJI, and those 3 questions that were posed, he clearly refuted all those claims. He has said that that room is a dump room. And he did not see any pile of cash at all in that room. So when we're talking in a lot of the larger scheme of things, a lot of questions are left unanswered. And how do you think one should approach investigation after this?
Yes, good morning, Riyaji, and to all your viewers. And I have seen that response of Justice Verma as well as the report sent by Honorable Chief Justice of India. And also I have seen the video which has been shown uploaded in the website of Supreme Court of India. One thing, I also agree with Justice Jhingra that all scene of crimes would have been cordoned off. But in that case, I must tell you that as soon as the first responder, that is fire brigade, reached at the spot, definitely they have informed the police about the recovery or about the presence of bundle of notes in that room, which were some burned or unburned, whatever there. When the police reached there, I don't think that any FIR has been registered till now, but there is a provision in law at section 120 CRPC earlier, now it's 106 CRPC, that power of which states the power of police officers to seize certain property. In that, under that power, I think that the police might have seized that half-burned notes or half-burned notes that might have been lying in the Malkhana police station, and the Justice Verma saying that I have not seen that. Those property cannot be destroyed and cannot be left alone there. And I think the police might have done. That section also further says any police officer may seize any property which may be alleged to be suspected to have been stolen or which may be found under circumstances which create suspicion of commission of offence. This presence of this money definitely has a suspicion, grave suspicion about having commission of any crime. For that purpose, definitely police might have seized this property that the cash harbor notes in their property. But the saying of that explanation of Justice Verma that I'm not aware of this, who might have sent it, that becomes his alibi, and that will be seen in during inquiry. And one more thing that I think that Sumit Peer has also pointed out that because the faith in the public about the judiciary is eroding, that is also something very important to be seen, because this judiciary is believed to be by the public of Delhi believed to be the very strong pillar of our justice, at saying that जैसे हम कहते हैं ना कि हम देख लेंगे, हम कोर्ट में जाके देख लेंगे, तो people still have some faith in judiciary, but by this type of acts which have been explained now, and this some damage to the judiciary is bound to take place. Next, I think I must tell you that also that the inquiry has been ordered, and inquiry of 3 judges, that is very senior judges, 2 High Court judges and 1 judge, that is also to be seen, and the Honorable Justice have been asked to not to be given any judicial work. That is also is in our system, judiciary system or any inquiry system, that is every person is held innocent until proved guilty. That is also one of the points that need to be seen. But apparently, on the face of it, the public at large will say what is their face of it, on the face of it. They will not wait for the inquiry report, but in the presence of mind, people of mind, they will definitely be thinking that how this huge money, huge cash can be found in the room of Honorable Justice and in his official bungalow. That is also seen that this house is used as a dump garbage and dumping of the other articles, and the bags of these shoes were also considered to be dump articles. I don't think that this alibi of Justice Verma will stand in the inquiry, but still, till inquiry is conducted, we cannot comment all this. We cannot blame anything about it, and we will have to wait and watch about the inquiry report. But certainly, if it would have been a common person like me, like Sumit Peer has said, that if it would have been found in some police officer's house or some common man's house, then definitely picture would have been separate. Case would have been registered by now, and that person would have been arrested till now, and ED and Income Tax Department should have been could have been invited in that case. I don't think that in this matter, Income Tax have been informed or not, because that also because the huge cash is involved in that, and then in that case, if the cash is intact or half burnt even, then the cash calculation of cash is also very important, because in so many media people that they have exactly figured that 15 crore, but I don't think that half burnt note can be considered as a full note or whatever this, that the bundles might have been counted, and that calculation, if we count that bundle, then becomes 3,000 bundles of 500 notes. So then becomes that 15 crore. That 3,000 bundles, it requires a huge place to store. All these things are to be seen in the inquiry, and police might have been given a true picture to the Honorable Chief Justice of India. That is, I think, on that basis that inquiry has been conducted. So many other things are also to be seen, whether that room was accessible to any other public person, or CCTV footage are also to be seen. CDR of the Justice Verma, that is also to be watched at, during how much time, what he was in contact with whom, and who were those persons. And more particularly, I must tell you, if this inquiry report says that this money was a bribe money, then this is most important aspect of that. Who was the person who bribed this person? Who brought this bribe money? That is very important. That why the public also is willing to give bribe. That is also to be seen in our Indian system. That this corruption, which is increasing by bounds, then it also to be seen why the people are giving this opportunity to any person to have this to run these corrupt practices. So during inquiry, that is also to be seen whether if this case is true that it's a bribe money, then most important aspect will be that who are the person who has given this money. That is also should be the part of that inquiry, and that will be known by the thorough interrogation of Honorable Justice, if it is correct.
All right, Ellen Rao, Sumit Peer and Dr. Swati Jindal stay with us. Meanwhile, some reactions are also coming in on this. Let's in fact listen in.
What one has gathered from the media and also